No. Like, we're at a great point. And right now, I think we can shift gears because we have another conversation that literally goes right into what we're saying when we're talking about players. Now, with this being said, do we believe that D Wade is overrated?
I'll start it off.
Well, I'm
Absolutely, I
gonna
do.
jump in real
Come
quick
on,
just to say
yeah.
sorry because I
Oh no,
had technical difficulties.
yeah,
That's all good, man. It happens to the best of us, brother.
yeah,
Uh,
it's all right.
You
but
want to leave
Jared, I
that
will
off?
let you go. No. I just want to say sorry because
Oh, okay.
I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I had to send him a whole nother invite. That's why I was talking. I didn't mean it. I thought I was
Okay.
muting, but it's okay.
It's all good.
Anyway,
Talking over
so
my man's.
yeah,
But,
not on purpose.
This is why I'm really here, though.
Okay, so Jared, wait, because I think Ike, what do you think?
Do I think D-Wade's overrated?
Yes.
Define overrated for me. In my opinion, he's not overrated.
Okay, cool. Just stay there. Just stay there. Just stay
rated
there.
accurately, but
Just stay there. Just stay there. Now you're not sure in comparison. You need a comparison. All right, Justin, what do you think? Do you think D-Wade is overrated?
I would actually have to ask you, what is he rated? I guess I don't know what he's rated.
I mean,
yeah,
a lot of people.
that's
A
what
lot.
I'm
Okay.
Let's
Oh, okay.
hear it.
So a lot of people say that
third
he's
best shooting guard of all time.
No, he's not.
Is he? You said number two?
Yeah.
Is he number two? No.
Okay.
And he's not number one.
Okay. Do y'all believe that he's top 5 shooting guard of all time?
I think that he has to be by default because historically speaking, I don't feel like the shooting guard position. That's kind of my argument with Jordan a little bit. If we're going that route, which I know we're not at this point in time, but that's kind of what I feel like is the issue because like I can't even think of the second best two guard. In the 90s. I mean, some people can go Mitch Richmond. I've heard Starks. I've heard
not Starks. I mean, but you had like
Clyde
Drexler and some other guys.
I've heard Clyde. But no, none of those guys I don't feel like is.
Where do you put Kobe?
Kobe's my number 2 shooting guard of all time.
No.
Remember, I got Kobe and Jordan as 1A, 1B.
Okay. Wait, did I miss that?
Again.
He made a comment
that's not something that I'm
really.
I'm a stand on it, but I'm not going. If you disagree, okay, like I'm gonna let you have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. I ain't gonna spend too much time wasting that.
Well, I want to.
That's how I feel.
I want to address our kind of our initial argument when we were talking about D-Wade, and you made a comment that James Harden is better than D-Wade.
Absolutely, I'm taking James Harden every single night over D-Wade. Period. Easy. Easy. I'm sorry.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, let's go. What? Why?
He's gonna give you more.
Such as what?
He produces more points, assists. He's gonna give you more. He can do more. I'm taking James. It's not even close.
Okay.
Right.
So
no. Let me get away.
No.
Hold on. No. I can clarify.
I'm listening.
So I'm not gonna go as to say, oh, it's not even close. Because I literally just said that's my issue with the LeBron.
Okay, so I was going to call you out on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say, but for me, I'm taking James Harden over D Wade 11 times out of 10. That's just me personally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're saying he gonna give you more. He gonna give you more what?
Points and assists, production, overall production on the basketball court.
Okay, James Harden for his career is averaging 25 points a game. D Wade for his career averaged 22. So right. you're picking him because of the points.
But you got to factor in the years that James Harden wasn't starting.
We ain't factoring nothing. We talking about career.
Yeah, you do. That's not a. You can't.
So that's D Wade's fault that he didn't start.
I'm not saying that it is, but I'm talking about when you compare both guys full-time starters, then look at it. Six first team All NBAs or 2. Stop it.
Okay, so let's just talk all let's talk all NBAs together. So all together he has
first
6.
team is what I was counting.
Oh, you only count first team, so we're not counting everything that people do.
You can count what we count it up. Count it up then.
D Wade has 7.
Count it up.
He has 7 first team.
How many does James Harden have total?
He has 6 total.
And they're all what?
D-Wade got 8, my bad.
Yeah.
And they're all what?
Okay, they're all first, but that's you
it's
all NBA.
Personal opinion, man.
All
I feel
NBA.
like James Harden has had more elite seasons than Dwayne Wade. I'm sorry.
Only from a scoring standpoint.
And assist.
Okay, he led the league in but he led the league in
overall
assists.
production.
He led the league in assists once. He's led the league in scoring
How many times has D-Wade led the league in assists?
He doesn't, but he's got 3 all defensive team, and James Harden has none.
Okay.
So we can. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We can. Whatever got for
at
James
the
Harden,
day,
I got for D-Wade. I got something for D-Wade.
At the end of the day, it's personal preference. But yeah,
D-Wade has led the league in scoring once.
How many times has James Harden led the league in scoring?
I think 3 times. But I'm just saying D-Wade got one also. I'm just saying
that's what I'm saying. I give credit. D-Wade had 2 elite seasons. I'll give him that. 2 elite seasons, but I feel like James Harden's had more.
Okay.
And I feel like if I need to win a game and I'm picking, even if we're at the park, if we're in the gym, wherever we're at, if I need to pick up somebody that I feel is going to give me more, I'm taking James Harden. Period.
Yeah, more turnovers.
All right. I mean, if we want to get into the nitty gritty of it all, like I said, again, at the end of the day, it's personal preference. Give me Mr. 6-time first team All NBA James Harden.
Yeah. Who's going to give you about that many turnovers a game also?
Okay.
So hopefully you only need him for one game.
All right.
Because you may get lucky. Well, but if you need him for any stretch, he's going to give you
what that one game is.
Exactly. Because if it's the playoffs, that's going to be another issue.
If D-Wade is as great as you're trying to make him seem, Buddy would have way more than 2 first team All NBAs. I'm just
and
saying.
If D-Wade, if James Harden was as good as he is, he would have made it somewhere in the playoffs outside of where
Western Conference Finals. He even made a finals with.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
He come off the bench.
Remember that don't count though.
Western Conference Finals.
You can't because he don't count. Are we gonna count that year then?
So what now?
We're gonna count that year then, right?
Oh, you can count every year. You can count it. I mean, he
not to.
Yeah, you can count it.
So
no, I say you can count whatever you want to count. I'm counting 6 first team All NBAs over 2.
And I'm counting. I'm just gonna count 8
All
NBAs.
I'm counting league. I'm calling league out. I'm calling league MVP over 0.
Okay, and now I count finals MVP.
That's fine.
All right. So what? How much is no different?
That's your opinion. Is this not opinionated?
Yeah, but
it's opinionated. That's
I don't understand how you can't say he's not. Is James Harden top 5?
Top 5 ever?
No, top 5 2 guard.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm saying he's higher than D-Wade. Absolutely.
Ooh. Okay, let's get this list of 2 guards out.
Please.
Yeah, let's do it because it's not very entertaining at all. To say the least.
What?
Wow.
It's not. Let's break it down.
No. I'm not saying that it's very entertaining. I'm just, again, I'll be honest with you. When it comes down to that, though, Jay, my thing is this. Harden, not saying he's a bad player, but Harden falls into the Westbrook category for me. Numbers are a little bit more deceptive. Let me just say my 2 cents on that. Like, he kind of falls into that. But see, I'm consistent with that because that's also how I look at Luka. Because I'm not a big Luka guy either. They're players who, for me, they dominate the ball so much. You got to give some kind of productivity. You know what I mean? Right. Like they do. They dominate the ball a ton. But that's here nor there. So I like guys who play both sides of the ball.
I will jump in a little bit here. Because I don't disagree with that point at all, actually. And I do think that the game has changed so much towards the offensive end that you're going to have a lot of players who are going to be high in points, are going to be high in assists.
Yep.
Just because the one game's faster, so they're getting a lot more possessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're basically just running up and down playing pickup ball. So there's not a ton of organization or, nobody's really running offensive sets with the exception of maybe the Warriors.
And the Spurs. That's
the Spurs.
Yeah, this is true. So you're going to get a lot of skewed offensive players from, I would say, 2010 to now. And you can maybe go back further than that, but I would especially say from 2010 to now, just because everybody's trying to shoot threes now, and everybody's trying to spread it forward. It's so much easier to score. That's one of my issues with, I would say, today's game is like anytime you see somebody who's elite, they're never talking about that person defensively.
No,
you never hear about elite defenders anymore, and if you do, it's a help side.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and they specialize. Like you talk about like Kawhi, like Paul George.
With the exception,
not a lot of them.
With the exception of Giannis. Giannis is the only guy that you hear.
Giannis plays both ways,
and Joker too. Like Joker plays both ways too.
Yeah. But yeah,
we were all
Look,
kind of
I didn't want to even say nothing on that. I'm like,
I couldn't really I was wanting to.
I guess I
look on my face.
am I the only
said,
one
I'ma leave
person
that-
watching Nuggets
Hey,
games? So.
Yeah,
I said I'm gonna leave
that
that alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Exactly. That's
Yep.
it. That's it, right? I was like, let me leave that alone.
but yeah, I do think a lot of stats, like Justin is saying, especially when it comes to Westbrook, when it comes to Harden, and a lot of elite offensive players, they're just that. They're just elite offensive players. And they can do a lot more with the ball that they weren't allowed to do. You can't tell me that James Harden's step back was not a travel 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's still a travel. It's been
Yeah.
a lot of those words.
Like there was no gather dribble.
I'm also a guy that if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Type. That's the mentality.
But everybody's doing it now.
If everybody
could
average a 30-point triple double, they would. I mean,
I don't think so because
if you're capable of it.
You
so
got
let
to
me
be
ask you
put in
this.
the right position, though.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Hold on. Because I want to hear this then. So could LeBron never average a triple double in his career?
He hasn't.
But is he capable?
He hasn't done it.
So you'll say no.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you're saying that.
I'm legit with it.
LeBron couldn't average a triple double. Okay,
he has it. I'm not about to take it away from Russell Westbrook just because.
No, it's not about taking it away. It's not about taking it away. You just said if somebody had the ability to do it, they would do it.
Yeah.
I actually say I disagree because I don't think there are certain players like a LeBron. I don't think seek it. That's why they didn't do it. They didn't seek to do it.
I heard LeBron was a stat chaser. They hit me with that all the time. So that's
because I remember at one point
he might be a stat chaser, but he wasn't a triple double chaser. That's what I'm saying.
I remember at one point they were saying they was comparing KD and LeBron like at some point, and I think KD had just won the MVP and like the scoring title or something, and they were talking to LeBron about it, the scoring title or something like that, and LeBron was like, I can win the scoring title every year if I wanted to, but that's not my game. That ain't how I play. You know what I mean? I play differently, you know?
That's true.
So I think both of what y'all saying is true, but I don't think I think it's truly situational. Like the green light that James Harden had in Houston was ridiculous. Like ridiculous. But it's Mike D'Antoni. Like, that's his offense.
But
that's that, you know what I mean?
Defense, 7 seconds or less.
So I don't think you do that. I think if he's playing under Greg Popovich in San Antonio, James Harden's not averaging. He's not doing any of those numbers in San Antonio.
But I'm saying he hadn't done those numbers since he's been out of Houston, though. I mean, I said he hadn't done those numbers since he left Houston, or even before.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like system.
But I'm saying to your point, like
right. I think LeBron has been LeBron everywhere he went, and I think Westbrook hasn't been nowhere where nobody he had that green light. Like some players just have those green lights. Like Steph, I think Steph would do Steph anywhere because it's like an unlimited green light. And some people have it and other people don't. Like in OKC, there was nobody to challenge Russ. Russ could just do what Russ wanted. And he was, the leader of that team, and his teammates respected him. And like y'all said, he played hard. And, hey, they allowed him to get his triple-doubles. They knocked down shots. Him and Steve Adams, that pick and roll was crazy. You know what I mean? And they worked that shit to perfection. But nobody talks about Steve Nash and how he got his with Amari Stoudemire. You know what I mean? And that same system where he was doing 1-2 MVPs. You know what I mean? Nobody called him stat chasing, but he did it. You know what I mean? He was 20-10 for 2 seasons back-to-back, MVPs. You know what I mean? So it's
It was 15-10.
Well, 15-10. Oh, it was close.
It's a travesty that he got 2 MVPs.
I agree with that.
I'm just saying, though.
I love it when we can agree on something.
Right. I don't agree with those MVPs either. But it's just in systems. Some systems just give you that ability. And I don't think James Harden can do it everywhere because he didn't do it in Brooklyn. He's not doing it in Philly either because you got somebody like Doc Rivers that's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to let you take 15 threes a game. Not happening. Not here.
That and you're not winning a championship dominating the ball. I mean, the teams that typically those teams who are winning or consistently winning are teams that move the ball. I mean, you got Boston, they play team ball. Yeah, Golden State, the San Antonio, even those Cleveland teams,
and the Pacers,
or the Miami teams. I mean, just any of those teams. You don't have a guy dribbling for. I mean, let's just be real. Travis Best. Doing his best Travis Best impersonation and then going and shooting or passing it at the last moment. So
Travis Best sighting.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
But no, Yeah, so I would think shooting guards, you're probably looking at Jordan 1. You, I mean, if you want to put Baby
My
Jordan there too as Kobe,
mm,
but then
no.
you look back, like I said, you look at Clyde, you look at, I mean, where do you put Dr. J? Is he a 3 or can you put him at the
I
2?
definitely
George
don't put him at
Gervin,
2.
can you? I mean, they scored like 2 guards,
And
so,
another thing I
but
get
they
with
had
this
the
is
size
like
of 3s.
some of
Larry,
these players did play point. Like James
yeah,
Harden's highest scoring years, he was the
He's a point
He
guard.
wasn't.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you just go back and look at like some of these older teams, like Reggie was a great shooter. Like, if we talking shooting, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's Ray Allen, you know what I mean? Like, these guys, like, it's a lot of 2 guards that
But it's personal
had.
preference as
No,
well. Like
I
Jerry
agree. I'm
said,
just
At the
thinking
end of
about
the
when
day,
we're
that's
thinking
all
of
it
that
is.
list,
Yeah.
and you're trying to like, you're really trying to squeeze out 2 guards because now in the league where it's positionless, you look at somebody like Luka. Back in the day, he wouldn't have been no point. He probably would have been a 2 or a 3 or even maybe a 4.
he ain't
That,
no
but
point
not.
right now. He
Yeah, I'm just saying,
dominates
like,
the ball, man.
I agree. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about when you're talking about size versus skill and what they do, how many shots they
yeah.
take, and scoring. Like, mainly your 2 guard was your scorer. You know what I mean? Like, he was your specialist jump shooter, and you know, it was mainly your big men, your power forwards, and your centers who dominated. So, do you pull a lot of those 2 guards up because they were specialists, or do you hold them back because now it's a guard-driven game? You know, so I don't know. So it's kind of hard. Like, I don't think back to the original time. I don't think D Wade's overrated because then you got to put a lot of people in that category. And I think his numbers and his accolades stack up to any 2 guard almost that you want to put against him outside of like Kobe and Jordan. That was just primarily 2 guards.
I think one thing I look at too, though, as far as like D Wade goes, his numbers aren't special, you know, and I talk about that even like with Kobe, his numbers aren't special. But that's a whole nother
No,
podcast to talk about that. But I will say this when it comes to D Wade, the reason why like, or the even like the Harden thing, I guess for me is when it comes down to the brass tacks of it, I look at it and I say, it's not one-on-one basketball. It's team basketball. And D Wade, to me, he can fit with any team. Harden's gonna probably have to be your primary guy to give you those numbers you talking about, Jared, that make him.
That's true.
So I can't. I'm not picking
which is
Harden
not a bad
over
thing,
Dwayne Wade. It is because
James Harden.
If James Harden is your best player, you're not winning a championship. That's been proven.
And
I think
honestly, with the
how you playing.
So with the D Wade thing, like, yeah, his numbers took a hit when he decided to take a backseat to LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And he made that decision to say, all right, I'm going to focus on other things. I'll be there to score when it's time for me to score.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But, you know, if I need to take on the other team's best 2 guard or best point guard because Mario Chalmers couldn't do it, then, you know, I'm here to take over that.
Right. And even in those years.
Shout out to Mario Chalmers.
Even in those years, he averaged
My bad, Mario.
he went from averaging 30 in 09 when he won the scoring title to 26 in 2010 to 25 in 2011 to 22 in 2012 to 21 in 2013. Those are the 2 years they won championship. To 14 averaging 19 and then back up to 21. So he was always around that 20 range even, you know, just throughout that time. So I mean, I think he stayed consistent even in taking a back seat, you know. I think he still pull his weight. Like, he wasn't.
I wish he hadn't taken a back seat. I wish he had a co-pilot it. Then, you know, Brian probably would have more rings.
Like, yeah, he probably would have had 2 more.
Like, the reality is that we haven't mentioned, and it's just a reality. His body wouldn't allow him to be the co-pilot.
No.
So
his knees were going.
His knees were done. You know what I mean? Which ultimately, that's you know, LeBron to tell you that's why he had to leave. I mean, he, you know, Bosh got, you know, the little blood condition, whatever, and D Wade wasn't D Wade, so it's kind of like I'm back at Cleveland again. Like, I'm not trying to be the guy carrying everything every night. You know, I need some help. So
because early D Wade, he was that crash and burn type of player. He was kind of like AI. You know what I mean? Like, he was taking those hard hits. He was falling hard. Like, you know, or even D Rose, like jumping out the gym. Like, all those guys, I don't want to say smaller. He was 6'4", but like they take those bumps and bruises early on. You know, in their career,
he wasn't D Rose explosive though.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, but he he was dunking on boys.
He wasn't afraid to go to the cup.
He was
He
not.
was never a great shooter.
Yeah,
like
especially not early
like
on. Yeah, no, I agree. But so I'm just saying, like those guys who played in the paint, who smaller guys that played in the paint, who bumped around, who ended up having AI. He was super durable. Like it took him a while, but just talking about knees and stuff like that. So that's why the D Rose comparison come. But yeah, it was tough, but. I think he could have played longer, like you said, if he developed the jump shot and he was more of a shooter. Definitely could have played longer because now shooters just last.
Man, Steph Curry gonna be able to play till he 90.
Man.
Yeah, with ball like that. Jesus Christ.
I agree.
On its last light, same clothes I'm from last night, still lit like it's last night, young living in the fast life, young. Smoke cloud from the ash pipe, catch air from the half pipe. I need a centerfold from the shows with the mansion, chandelier dancing, counting a Branton, yeah. Been had hella Franks when it's ballpark figures, might be in the field but I came from the trenches. You can tell it's my time, look at better swing. I do like the charm on my wrist, let me glitch. Want me pay the way, I'm the wave, I'm authentic. Sitting courtside, got a sprain, nigga, I bring the gang for the gang. Nothing but a thing when I sang, young Usain, I sprinting, getting fresh prints, counting a blessing on blessing on blessing. They call me the reverend, y'all nigga play too much.